We are live. Good
Oh, wow.
evening. Happy
Hello, everybody.
special treat today. We have Linda, and I've brought her in because we met on Facebook. I've niched in retreats, and she hosts an amazing retreat in a monastery in Spain. So that's what the chat is all going to be kind of about.
Mhm.
But obviously travel and what you do and where you got the idea from the monastery from and all those kind of things. So if anybody's watching live and you've
Mhm.
got any questions, just pop them in the comments. If you are watching back on replay, just let us know where you're watching from. Linda, please introduce yourself. Thank you for coming.
No, thank you for inviting me. I mean, this is the first time I've actually done like an interview live, so it's all new for me. I love all this stuff. I love getting out of my comfort zone.
Well, haven't
So,
you been in the telly in Spain though? You
oh
said.
yes, I'm on Good Morning Spain. That's another thing. I'm quite happy doing the wellness editor on Good Morning Spain because it's like an interview with the cameras and stuff. But for me, I still haven't got onto the digital world of all this online stuff, and so this is the first online. And thank you so much for inviting me and getting me
You're welcome.
to actually do an interview here live. So I'm super excited about it. So you want to know a little bit about me? My name is Linda Greenway. I mean, I think it's probably the perfect name for what I do, the Green Way. Everything's the Green Way. I am a wellness coach and I organize, I'd like to say, absolutely amazing retreats because, like, I've been doing retreats for at least 15 years. I've been a wellness coach for at least 25 years. It's probably more, but I'll just stick with the 25 years. And with the retreats, I've done more than 40. And I used to own a boutique hotel in the south of Spain, in Marbella, for 9 years. And I used to do a lot of my retreats there. And the reason I started doing the retreats was even though I knew all the health things and I know what to do to look after myself and all the rest, but when I was in the hotel, I was doing everything. I was frazzled. And I know what it's like for other entrepreneurs because you're always on call, you're always thinking about it. And it's just like, yeah. So I thought, and I love all my holistic stuff. And people in the hotel used to ask me about reflexology or ask about my diet and nutrition and all different things. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a retreat here. So it was really for selfish kind of reasons. I started because I needed a break. I needed a retreat, but I couldn't leave my hotel. And so I started doing them there with obviously the best teachers because I know everything all about the wellness lines and what works and what doesn't. And so I kind of started there. And for me, it was just amazing. It was like that kickstart, just a few days of having all the right food, all being looked after, being pampered. And sorry, you've got a dog in the background. I'm in Argentina at the moment, and it's pretty wild over here. And so yeah, that's kind of how I started. And just really after a few days, how amazing I felt, and even my eyesight was even better because when you're always online, you're on your phones, and your eyes just. But after a few days of totally relaxing, I mean, I noticed really the benefits, and that's kind of like what spurred me on to start doing retreats. So, and since the hotel, which I had to close in the pandemic, unfortunately, but we always bounce back up again, entrepreneurs, and that's what we do. It's like, and so that's why I'm doing wellness retreats in different beautiful locations. And as you mentioned, Portia, about the monastery is it's in the north of Seville in Spain, and it's such a healing place. I mean, just going there, you just feel like everything is going. It feels like you're being wrapped up in a beautiful hug. It's just so healing. And then I have beautiful teachers who come, who I love my Kundalini teacher. He comes down from Madrid with 5 enormous gongs. And these gongs, when they're inside the sacred halls of the monastery, just it's reverberating all the way through you, and you're still reverberating for like days afterwards. And it just is one way of clearing everything out of your mind and releasing emotions that is really doesn't serve you, and all these kind of things. And then my other yoga teacher, she's absolutely amazing. She also did a lot of the yoga in the hotel when I had it, and she's just like a cat. I mean, when she's doing her yoga, I mean, the poses are just like stretching like a cat, and her voice is like purring. So the meditations and the yoga nidra, again, you're just like something else. So I have these beautiful teachers, and this time I'm having a teacher of eccentrics. So I don't know if you know eccentrics. That's been going for about 30 years, and that's kind of a strengthening of and stretching of your own strength, and that, I mean, if you do it regularly, I mean, you can become like 10 years younger. The way that it makes you all supple, it's like quite an.
Is that like kind of calisthenics type?
It's kind of a mixture of qigong and kind of yoga, but it's like with music, and it's like doing like other kind of stuff. Sorry, I'm doing this, but it's not really that. You have to come and try it out. That's the best way of doing it.
Isn't it lovely that you've turned like your passion for something into a business, but not just only a business that helps other people as well? I think that's just like brilliant.
Oh no, for me, I just love it because I live the wellness way. The holistic way. I mean, I have the holistic lifestyle. I get up in the morning, I do my tongue scraping, and I do all sorts of things like putting oil on my body before the shower, and eating as natural as possible, and so I love doing that. And then I find that it's just so helpful for so many other people, because I'm here in Argentina, and in Argentina there's quite a lot of people, especially even the younger people. They're like, "What, really? We can change everything just by our food?" I mean, because you can sleep better at night if you change your food. I mean, lettuce soup is actually quite interesting. You should try lettuce soup for helping you sleep. Cherries, cherry juice, oats. I mean, all these kind of things help you to sleep. And then in my retreats, I talk about all these different kind of mini retreat rituals that you can actually do back home. And that's what I do when I'm doing my wellness coaching online as well, because then sometimes you just get overloaded and overwhelmed with so much. And also in today's world, you can see so much online and you really don't know what is right. Some people say, don't have this because it's got oxalates. Other people say, do have this, don't have oats, do have the other. And so, yeah, I like to give like little mini retreat rituals. They're only like 5 minutes, but you can like add them slowly into your lifestyle. And then after about 28 days, it kind of becomes a habit, and it's just like normal for you. And it just changes everything in your life. So
that's a really good idea, doing like the retreat, but then you've got the coaching to kind of like follow up with, because I mean, we've all got that. I don't know if there's a term for the feeling you get once you've left a retreat. I mean, you've got all that excitement and it was amazing, and you just don't want to leave, and then reality hits and you're back home, and then you've got that coaching that carries on, and that's really good, because then you haven't kind of lost what you've done on the retreat. It doesn't seem like a distant memory, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And I call the program after it, I call it the everyday retreat, because like then you still have the little like peaks. And then also if you're wanting with the coaching alongside, then like once a week we kind of check in and we like go through all the different things, because I like to do everything personalized, because everyone's so different. And what works for one person doesn't really work for another person. And so, and also everyone's got a different kind of lifestyle or different rhythms or different timings. And so, yeah, I like to like do everything. And also with the food. I mean, there's maybe certain foods that certain people don't like, and I do the meal plans for them. And so I organize all the recipes and the shopping list. And so I make it super easy so that they can incorporate it. And when someone's doing like a 30-day program with me, then I also do it slowly. I just give them all the breakfast to start off with, and then slowly they want to get doing with the healthy breakfast and the good starts in the morning, and then I go on to like the next things. So, and then I do things like also on the retreat, I go through the Wheel of Life, which is really interesting seeing. Sorry about that. That's my dog. And so with the Wheel of Life, it goes through how to balance everything in your life. So everything from from the leisure side of things, or the health side of things, or the family, or your home life. And I go through all those and sort of work out which are the wellness goals for all of these different aspects to put a better balance and more harmony in your life. And it's like when you start seeing this wheel of life, then you think, oh my goodness, yeah, I can't have a good momento if things are like distorted or out of balance.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And when is the retreat at the monastery? When is that?
Oh, that's the end of May. So it's only for 4 days. I do it for 4 days because that's when you transform. Well, the people on my retreats, they just change. They're like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed after just 4 days. And that's why I do 4 days. A week would be better, but I find people don't have really much time to do like a week. So it's like like a mini retreat for the soul. So you come away for 4 days and it's just, you looked after. I have 7 professionals on the retreat. One of them is doing flamenco. And that's like a therapy in itself. I bring all the flamenco dresses and the fans and the flowers for the hair. And the majority of people have never had a real, authentic flamenco outfit on. I mean, the men also have the hat, I have the sash for them. And we do like a flamenco class. And we just laugh our heads off. And that's like therapy. So I love that. We also do paella because we're in Spain. And so we teach how to do like paella. So I like to put in the cultural things. We go for an amazing walk in the Iron Ore Mountains, which originally was a Scottish family who uncovered it to mine the iron. And luckily they did do that. And so then you have all these red rock formations that are from 600 million years. And we walk through, and the other professional is the botanical guide. So she's showing us all these natural remedies as we're going along. So St. John's wort is on the side. So we pick that. And so she explains how to use it, how you can put it onto your skin, and all the other ways of doing tinctures and how to make it into like an infused oil, or then it'll be sarsaparilla.
Oh, that's the kind of supermarket we need, isn't it?
No, totally. I do everything natural. I mean, that's how I kind of like started, was in Peru. So I know you were going to ask me what was like one of my favorite travel destinations. Yeah. Peru is where it all started because I had typhoid fever. I had typhoid fever in Bolivia, in La Paz. And I had like 8 days in the hospital there. The doctor did say to me, Linda, you're a little on the weak side. I wouldn't go traveling, but my friend was waiting 8 days in La Paz for me to get out. And so we decided we'd go to the jungle. So we took a cargo plane. I don't know if you've ever taken a cargo plane, which is quite fascinating. I mean, you sit with your back against the fuselage and you've got motorbikes and chickens and everything all in front of you. And as you're going up, you're all like sliding down because it's one long seatbelt. But so we got to the jungle. And as soon as I got to the jungle, oh my God, the typhoid fever started again. I mean, I wasn't in the best of hotels. I was backpacking at that time. And it was like taps were dripping, cockroaches, and typhoid fever. I don't know if you know much about that, but it's like from both ends. Everything's coming out of you. Not very nice. And we found a jungle guide to take us into the jungle, and because that was like the little village before we went in. And the jungle guide came 7 o'clock in the morning to take us. And I said, there's no way, I'm not going. He looked at me. He said, you need uña de gato. I was like, uña de gato, cat's claw it is. And so he made this infusion from the bark of the cat's claw tree, made sure that I drank it 4 times a day. And it took me by boat into the jungle. We were in the jungle hut, and did all the jungle kind of things that you do, like piranha fishing. And I caught 3 piranhas, by the way. It's quite tasty. I mean, it tastes a little bit like cod, but a bit small. And we cooked it with the Brazil nut oil, which was Brazil nut season. And Brazil nut season, you have to be so careful because the Brazil nuts are like a coconut shell with the Brazil nuts inside, like a pomegranate. And they're so tall are these trees, and they just go bombarding down on top of you. So you have to like make sure you don't get bumped on the head, otherwise you're knocked out completely. So yeah, and so I realized after just 4 days, and also the jungle guide, he'd cured himself from malaria, from the quinine plant, and he was showing me all the sort of the natural things from there. And just in those 4 days that I was in the jungle, I felt amazing. I didn't have all the vomiting and the diarrhea and all the other horrible stuff and feeling really bad. And I wasn't sick for about 2 or 3 years afterwards. And I was kept thinking to myself, like, that's weird. But the cat's claw is actually a fascinating herb. When I had it, it was like quite a long time ago. So the cat's claw, when I had it, wasn't even on the market. And eventually, when it did get onto the market, it's really good for them boosting up your immune system, really good for the digestive system, and really good for the intestinal system. And those are really the systems that you really have to look after to make sure and prevent any illnesses or problems further on in your life. And actually, a magazine wanted to write a story about me on that. It was called From Piranhas to Ponchos, was the story, the magazine in the Lancashire Life magazine. And then some national newspapers, they saw it in the magazine, and so they called me up and said, could I also have an article in the newspaper? But the newspaper article was like, British tourist was saved by a cuppa. I mean, I wasn't too happy about the title of that. But anyway, yeah. So that kind of started everything. And also in all my travels, I've done more than 60 odd countries. All the different countries I seem to have gone to, I've picked up more and more tips from all sorts of herbs and natural things and shamans and healers. And I've done also, I'm also a certified holistic therapist and coach. I've done all the certifications as well, but I've got a lot of information from which you don't really find in the textbooks. And I'm really quite intuitive. So I also feel and see what people are maybe needing. It's quite interesting. I love it. And I love seeing the difference in the people, and I love seeing the difference in the people on my retreats just in 4 days, how they just change. And again, they have really good food. On the retreats, I do vegan foods to make sure that everything is super clean and that everyone transforms in 4 days. So
included in the treat, you would have all your food, the accommodation, the excursions and workshops and activities. Transfers.
No, that's an extra, but we organize carpooling because people come from different directions. Quite often people will stay overnight in Seville, then they have a night out in Seville and do the tapas testings and sightseeing and all those kind of things, and they get to know some of the people who are already coming to the retreats if they're coming from abroad. Some people also come from the Costa del Sol. Some people come over from Scandinavia, from the UK, from Ireland, from all different places. Some come into Malaga airport, and some come into Seville. I'd recommend to come to Seville because that's the closest. I organize like a car, and everyone shares the cost of the car coming to the retreat.
How big is the retreat? How many people do you have on it?
It's usually around 15 people. I don't like to have more than 15. I mean, the monastery, I have the monastery exclusively for the retreat. And so the nature there is amazing. And so they can have 20 people, but I like it's more intimate, and so it's 15. And I'm on my last room, so if anyone is interested, please contact Portia as soon as possible, because you can organize all the flights and you can organize all those kind of details, can't you?
Yeah. If anybody is interested, drop me a message and we can find out how many people, if there's any extras, any special requests, and then get a quote from yourself. And brilliant. So where do you see this going then, Linda?
Well, I've done 40 already retreats, and I do around 3 to 4 retreats per year.
Well, where's your next one? I'll keep asking you all these questions.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
Where's your next retreat?
I'm going to do again in the monastery, because there's a lot of people who can't make the one in May, and so they've asked me to do another one in October. So and that's filling up as well. So the next one will be the 2 to 6 of October.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. And then I'm in Argentina. I am looking about doing a retreat in Argentina. I don't know if it's too far for people, but I've lived in Argentina and I know it really well. So then it will be a different kind of retreat with all the cultural things from Argentina. And it'll be, you'll be doing tango dancing, you'll be doing a lot of other kind of things. So I'm planning on that. And there's actually a monastery here in not that I'm do everything in monasteries, but it's and Argentina is not an old country, so it's not an old monastery, not like the one in Seville. That one's from the 15th century. So you will be sleeping in rooms from the monks that were from 1416. And that is also another kind of experience, because it's like time stops still in the rooms. But in the other monastery, you have to go by boat, and it's on the deltas in Argentina. So yeah, everything is by boat, and you're on an island with this other monastery that I'm thinking about doing. So if anyone's interested, please write down if they are, and then I'll definitely make the steps to.
Yeah. I remember going to a monastery in Spain. I must have been about 11, something like that, in Montserrat, and it was a beautiful place.
It's amazing.
They did some singing, like the monks, like a choir singing, and it was, I remember it just feeling all like, ooh, kind of like religious and spiritual, and there was this black Madonna that you could walk past and touch the foot, and if you touched it, it brought fertility.
Oh yeah, I remember.
So that story, yeah, my sister didn't touch it, I did. And then when I was about 19, when I was living in Italy, the gynecologist, I'd got a few problems, and he said, oh, you probably won't be able to have children. It's going to be really difficult for you. And then I went on to have 4, like without any treatment. So who knows?
You never know with those kind of things. I think, yeah, if things are right, then things just like move in the right way, definitely. So but no, I know what it's like, because like with living in Spain, I mean, it's like a love song to God. Is when you hear them, the people singing, and I have been to Montserrat and it's just outside Barcelona. It's yeah, I loved it also, and I saw the Black Virgin also.
Yeah, it's fascinating. And in Italy as well, there were monasteries, and they've all got their own little thing going on, whether it be like a liqueur or some medicine, like herbal medicine, or haven't they? They like do their own produce, and they're very at one with nature, and it's such a lovely environment to be in for a retreat, I think.
Yeah. No, the monastery is for me, it's another touch, and I do like special places to do the retreat. So yes, if there's any suggestions of a beautiful place along those lines, then that's another thing that I always look into as well. So yeah.
Let's just see if I've got any more questions for you, if I've covered them. We get carried away on different tangents, and I never stick to.
I get over like excited about everything, and then I start saying about this and saying about that and saying the other. So yeah, if I confused everybody, I'm sorry.
I keep forgetting to bring pen and paper to take notes, because if I think of a question, I should write it down rather than interrupting myself for a question that I've just asked and interrupted the question. So, yeah, what is your biggest learn from this retreat business?
Well, every retreat is completely different, and what I like about it is, before the retreat, I always do like a chat group, so everyone can like get to know each other before they come. So then everyone gets familiar with the different people. So you feel more of a belonging. But every retreat is completely different. It's like it just moves and it flows depending on who's there, and whoever goes there is like for the right reasons as well. And I mean, on one of the retreats, what I like to do on the first night is a story night, storytelling. Obviously, I've got lots of stories, but I don't take the limelight. But everyone can say something about what maybe inspired them, or some silly anecdote or something fun or something ridiculous or something naive. Usually mine are naive things. And then I've learned something out of that. And then, or maybe it's something vulnerable. And in one of the retreats, there was someone who came and was really said, I can't talk about anything funny, anything nice, anything. This is what's happening to me. And she just laid it down on the table like that. And everybody just wanted to look after her. And so she had an amazing retreat. Oh. Because everyone was like, well, I'm also a single mum and I managed it. So, and so everyone all gave all their little bit of like the messages that she kind of needed to hear. So there's all those kind of things are going on as well. So it's like, there's a reason why those people come to the retreat, and that's how. So I learn also from everybody who comes to the retreat. I mean, everything is yeah.
That's nice. Like there's like a little community going on, and I bet they stay friends as well. Afterwards and keep in touch, because the retreats I've gone on, I've definitely built a community, and we chat and become each other's clients as well. People I've met on retreats have booked with me, travel with me, or I've bought products from them, and it's just a lovely way of, I guess, networking as well.
Yeah,
you have to be not like business networking, but just like life networking, isn't it?
Yeah. No, everyone. I keep the chat groups for each group who comes along, and so then they can like post little things that has been going on in their lives or updates, and also if I have like little different mini retreat rituals that I think that would be useful for them, then I'll post that also into the group saying, hey guys, do you want this like sleepy tea, or do you want the recipe for this, or so there's always something. Yeah. And
I need the wakey tea. I have one thing I've never ever had problems with, touchwood, is sleeping. I could sleep on a washing line. I could sleep anywhere. Honestly.
That's good.
Yeah.
But when you're saying a wake up one, I mean, it's because like you need more energy throughout the day, or
no. But sometimes I get a tiredness come over me, and it's hard to stay awake, especially if I'm on a train or.
Oh, right.
Alarms on my phone.
Yeah, but is that the slump after you've had your lunch or something?
I mean, it could be first thing in the morning. There isn't really a time, but I do like the siesta after lunch. Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Because maybe just having some tweaks with your diet can maybe change all that. Maybe you need a bit more protein, or maybe you need more carbohydrates, because the carbohydrates, they give you more energy and helps you burn off the fat and proteins and things like that. So and also they fill you up. I know everyone says, oh no, can't have carbohydrates, etc. But if it's good carbohydrates, then yeah, then it's good for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, little tweaks with your diet can probably like give you like energy all the way through.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing the more the macrobiotic diet I tend to do with Ayurvedic spices. That's my favorite way of cooking. And I've been like the same weight, the same energy since I was like 20. I mean, when I was in my 20s, I used to have this yo-yo diet and I was like, there are all these diets of like fat-free diets in that time. And have this because it's diet, and have that because it's diet. And I remember trying all these kind of things, and I would like be this, and then like thinner again, and then this. But I've always been the stable weight ever since, for the last 30 years, I would say. Yeah, a little bit longer.
I've never literally decided to go on a diet.
Oh no, it's not a diet. It's never a diet.
No.
It's more like eating habits.
Yeah. My mum was very much into like the natural, cooking from scratch, and obviously living in Italy for 20 years, they're very much into, like the nice, wholesome, local produce, veg and meat, and I've got a garden, and last year I did some tomatoes and herbs and things, and I do like to cook from scratch. I've never felt the need for diets. You do hear some people say, oh, I'm on trying this diet and that diet. And my mum always got it into us, it's a healthy way of eating. It's a lifestyle. It shouldn't be something that's just for a little bit, a short period of time. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do like my chocolate biscuits.
No, definitely. So
I've got one last question for you. So, if somebody wants to go on your retreat, what should they like? What do they need? Any special fitness levels? Do they need to be spiritual? Is there any kind of, do they need anything in particular?
no, because if they're beginners to yoga, that's not a problem. And quite a lot of people who tend to come to the retreats are like first goers, and they've probably never been to a retreat, but they think, oh, I need some change in my life. And so they come, or maybe they just like need to escape and unwind. And so maybe they're not people who've done yoga or any of these kind of activities, but my yoga teachers are the best, really. They're so good. And at the beginning of the retreat, we tend to do like the yin yoga, more the easy stretching, which is really profound, and you really notice it in your body, but at the same time, it's really easy to do. And yin yoga is something that you do a particular pose for a certain length of time, and you kind of melt into that pose. And then as we're doing that on the first days, that you can see how everyone's different abilities are. And if there's certain, I mean, yoga is your journey. So you do what you can and what feels right. It's never to be forced, or there's no competition like, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do the warrior, I've got to do. It's your journey in it, and as you're doing it, so many things get released, and emotions and stuff from your body, and the knots get out, and all the fascia is all elongated, and you probably be a little bit taller by the time you finish. And the inner muscles, the female inner muscles with the Kundalini yoga, my goodness, you feel so strong there. That's a lot of breathing and stuff we do. So no, nobody has to worry about their abilities. Nothing is obliged. There is plenty of activities that are going on, but you don't have to go to everything. But people tend to do everything because they want to like experiment and try things for the first time. So the yoga is easy yoga. So yes, you can be a beginner. The Kundalini is also, and the eccentrics is with your own strength that you're doing the movements with. So it's, so that's no problem. Walking, the walk is about 4 kilometers. If you can't do all of the walk, then yes, you can go part way. And also, if you needed like a guide to take you with the car to a certain point of the walk, they can do that also if you have restrictions on walking. We also do a picnic when we're doing the guided walk in the Ainur Mountains. And so then you can also enjoy the picnic area and be in the countryside and see for people to come back. And there's also fossils, and there's all sorts of things on the walk. So no, there's no particular problem. I mean, yes. And also when people do book, I always talk to everybody beforehand because I want to make sure that they gel with the rest of the group, and also if it's something for them, and if they have any doubts, and see if there's other ways I can help. Because if it's not the retreat is the right thing for them, maybe I can help them with their wellness goals through the wellness coaching, or through the nutritional side, the holistic nutrition. So yeah, that side is not a big problem.
Yeah, so anybody that is interested, then get in touch, and we can sort you out with Linda, set you up a call and have a chat. Because I mean, it is quite an intimate thing, isn't it? A retreat. It's not like you're going on the regular tour. I mean, doing a regular tour, yes, you're with people, but it's not as intimate. You're not sharing,
Yeah, I mean that there's one thing I love about the retreats is the actual sharing, because I mean you can actually, and there's a lot of people come on their own. They want to leave like the baggage at home. Even their friends, the partners, and whatever, they just want to come on their own. and it's another kind of healing, and it's also getting out of your comfort zone, but you also have this other kind of bonding that's going on. And so I do have twin rooms that you can share the twin room, so you each have your own single bed, and then I have like either a double room but sharing a bathroom. The other rooms, yeah, I'm full with all the other rooms now, but that's what I've got left.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the experience. It's like yeah, it's nice. And it's good getting out of the comfort zones as well, because like part of that, I like to gently nudge, push and pull a little bit, just to like, because if we do always the same thing all the time, the results are always going to be the same all the time. And it's good, it's a good way of learning and getting out of yourself. Yeah,
that's what I like about travel, especially solo travel, is you go somewhere and whoever you think you are when you're back home, whatever you think your worries are, whoever you think, what people may think of you, when you solo travel, you don't get any of that. You're completely liberated from it, don't you find?
No. Yeah, no, it's great. And what I'm planning on doing, I'm going to ask the group beforehand, is to do a little bit of silence in the morning, so that you feel like you are the monks, because they were silent monks who are in this monastery. And if you wake up, and it's such a beautiful feeling that you don't have to make the effort and say, "Oh, what's the weather like today?" Or all these like light kind of conversations. It's like, so you can wake up in the morning, you can have your cup of tea or your hot water or your coriander seed water is something that I like to offer. That's really helpful. And then everyone can like walk in silence to one of the sacred halls where we do the yoga. And then they can come out in silence, and so they don't have to like make all these conversations, have their breakfast in silence, and then after that you can talk. So this is what I'm planning on doing, because that's something, it's like you're in company, but you're with your own thoughts and you're doing your own thing. And it's such a interesting thing to do. And because it was originally the silent monks who did that.
It just gives you time to enjoy the surroundings, listen to the birds, and feel, and not have that chit chatter in your brain. You know, what do I do next on this, and what do I say? And because meeting new people can be quite nerve-wracking, can't it?
Yeah. But and also what I love about when you're in the nature, it changes the microbiome in you, and it heals so much. And the monastery, I mean, in the end of May, it'll be all poppy fields. I mean, that's so beautiful. It's just like fields of red. It's pretty amazing that. And the monastery is also so natural. They have like natural wells, and so they have like a natural pool. And also you can go walking, and within half an hour or so, you can like go into the little river there, which is beautiful. There's lots of, and it's also UNESCO, one of the UNESCO certified starlight reserves. So this time I'm not going to be doing with the telescope with watching the stars, because there's plenty of stuff that I've got in my retreat already. This is what I did in the other retreats. But in the evening, when you're just walking around the grounds of the monastery, it's just like a blanket of stars above you. That's another amazing thing.
Yeah, I bet none of that light pollution. Fabulous. Thank you so much, Linda.
No, you're welcome.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed this, and I appreciate you excuse me, telling us about your retreat. If you want, when I'll post this, and then if you want to put your website into the comments so people can go and have a look and see who you are and whatnot. And if you want to pop your Instagram or any of those links in, feel free. And
fantastic.
I can't see on StreamYard any comments, so we'll take a look later, and if anybody does have any, just pop them in and Linda can come and answer them for you. Thank you.
Yeah, no, definitely. And if they have difficulty sleeping, I've got like a little deep sleep guide with the mini retreat rituals. I'm quite happy for your viewers to have that. I'm quite happy to give it to them for free if they would like that.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. All right. Thank you so much for inviting me to talk. And if anyone does have any questions and wants some little tips, no problem. They can ask me.
Perfect. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Thanks for watching.